Hello guys, this is your boy Ali Solanki, and in this video we'll be creating multiple NFTs through code, and you don't have to actually make each and every NFT. You can essentially use code in order to simplify your process, and I'll just show it to you how you can do it. So these are the different layers that you can use over here. I'll be showing you how I have done this also. So these are the different layers, and essentially by running this code, so if I just run this code, it creates these images for me, as many images as I want, and it essentially combines all the layers and gives an NFT for me. So we'll be talking about how I did this, how you can do this as well, and add in as many layers as possible. So let's start with the video. The first thing that you need to do is the installation part. You need to have node.js installed. So let me just search it, node.js install, and click on the first link, and depending on if you're a Windows user, Mac user, or anything else, you can just download it and save it on your device. Once you've installed it, then you need to install Visual Studio Code. So let's install that as well. Download, and click on the first link here as well. Windows, Linux, and then there's the Mac package as well. So download according to your essential OS, and yeah, you'll be good to go. Once you have these things installed, we can then look at the code and actually start working with it. So this is the GitHub code for it, and I'll be linking it down in the description box below. So a huge shout out to Hashlips for making this available and keeping it open sourced so that we can use this code. So just click on this code and then download the zip folder. Let me just do that, and I'll be keeping it in this folder, and yeah, let me just move it, and yeah, let me save it. So once you've downloaded the zip file, just open it up and extract the entire folder, and this would be our folder, hashlips art engine dash main. So this is the folder that we'll be working on. So let me just do that, and before that, you also have installed Visual Studio Code. So this is where Visual Studio Code will be used. So let me just close this, open from the start, and open the file that we have essentially just downloaded. So this is the file that we had downloaded. Open it up in Visual Studio Code, trust all the authors, and there it is. Now open the terminal using new terminal, and the terminal will be opened on the IDE itself. Now here you can see that there are a couple of folders. There's constant layers, then there's index.js file, that is the JavaScript file, then there's config.js file. So this is the main file that we'll be working with, config.js. So just remember to open this up, and as you can see, I'll just briefly explain it to you. So these are the different layers that we'll be using to create our NFT, our random NFT. So these are the same layers that have been put over here. Remember that the name over here should match with the folder name as well. So as you can see, top lid is over here. This is the top lid, and all of these things are already inside the config.js. Other than that, there's this grow edition size 2. So this number essentially represents how many NFTs would be created, how many pictures should be created. So I'll just keep it to 10. I want 10 pictures. I'll save it, command S, and I'll save it, and yeah, everything's done. The height and width is also mentioned over here, 512 into 512, and text and all. You don't have to actually look at all of these things, but it's just good to know that these things can also be edited. We won't be editing anything, so yeah, let's actually start with it. So the first thing that you need to do is npm -i and canvas. So this is a command that you need to write, this particular command npm-i canvas. What it essentially is, npm stands for node package manager. So it's essentially installing the package named canvas. So the canvas package is being installed with this dash I means install. So let me see, unknown command canvas. Okay, there's some problem. npm dash I oh, okay, it was not dash I, it was I canvas. Sorry for the mistake. And let me just remove this as well. Yeah. So yeah, npm stands for node package manager, I is for install, and then canvas is the package. So once you run that, you will see a new folder created over here which is called node modules, and it will essentially download all the packages for this canvas. And also one more thing that I wanted to share with you is, if you ever face error while doing this, just follow these three steps, which is installing homebrew, and you can install it through brew.sh, essentially copying this code over here and pasting it in your terminal, and then just running it. So if you paste it over here and then just run it, you'd be good to go. But I have already installed brew, I have everything set up, and I didn't face any errors, so I don't need to do that. There'll be only few people who'd be facing this error, if any. So yeah, you can do that, and then run this command. It'll be down in the description box below to copy, and then run npm, not dash I but I, and canvas. These are the three things that you'd need to do if you face error, which most of you won't. So once you've done that, once everything is set up, we'll just run it for once. So node index.js, that's how you run the file. So node index.js, enter, and it will essentially create 10 pictures, because I've selected 10 over here instead of 5, so that's why it's creating 10 pictures for me. And it has some unique codes with it, and if you want to see those files, you can go over to build. So build is the folder there, and images, and these are the images that have been created. So all of these were layers. The eyeball is a layer, the upper lid was a layer, the lower lid was a layer. Here you can see all of these layers. So bottom lid, top lid, all of these were layers, right? High, low, middle, and it just selected one at random, and basically just put it all together. So bottom lid, and that's how it created that particular image. So yeah, that's how we got all of these randomly created nfts, and yeah, that's it. Now what I'll be doing is changing all of these things and creating my own nfts rather than having the already made ones there. So let me clear it out, and instead of these layers, I need to add in my layers, right? So I need to go over to finder. Let me just delete all of these things. Where is it? This was the folder, right? It was in layers, and all of these things I don't need. I won't be using any of these layers, so let me just dump it. And the layers that I'll be using is over here. So these are the three layers that I'll be using, and I'll show it to you what those layers are and why I have chosen them. Essentially, I'll be launching a new nft which is called the stripes, and this would be launched on 8 November. So stay tuned for that, and they will essentially be a ton of nfts. I'll be sharing more details about that project soon, so make sure that you follow me on Twitter, and yeah, stay updated with the news and the project. So I've copied the folders over to the layers part, and as you can see, these are all my layers. This is the left stripe, the middle stripe, and then there'll be one on the right side. So this is how I'll be creating my NFT, basically using three stripes, and the entire picture would be created. So all of these stripes will have different rarity levels. So say lime would be more rare or less rare than gradient file, and this orchid mint, which is the color over here, would be more rare than just orchid. So how do I set all of these things? One thing that you notice is after the naming of the files, I've also added a hash and then a number over there. Only in Lime I've not added it, just to show you why I should have added it. So let me just show it to you. So node index.js, let me run it, and I will see an error over here. So this error, if you face this error, that means you have not added the hash and then the number after the file. So make sure that you put in hash and then a random number that you want after the file. What this number basically means is how rare is this particular layer. So if you want to keep it more rare, you will add in a smaller number, and if you want to keep it less rare, then you have to add in a bigger number. So if I keep it say to 100, then all 100 or 1000, then this layer would be seen in almost all the NFTs that I create. Let me just show it to you. So node index.js, let me run it. Okay, I have found another error over here. So what's the error? Layers background. Okay, I haven't removed background or what? I have removed background. Okay, so I know what the error is. So in the config.js file also we need to change all of these layers, right? Because we do not have a background, we do not have an eyeball, we need to change all of these things. So the first layer that we have is left stripe, and remember to always use the capital letters wherever there are capitals, and yeah, because it's case sensitive. So middle stripe, then there's the right stripe. So everything's been added, and let me just save this file and run it again. So 10 images were created. You can see that one DNA already existed. That means there are no repetitions. And yeah, let me just go over to build folder, images, and see all of them. So as I said, the lime would be, this lime left side would be quite common because I've added like 1000 number after that. It's so common over here. So in all of the, I think, files, the lime would be added. Yeah, it's almost there in all of the files. Yeah, except for this particular one, all the others contain the lime color. So if I want to change the rarity for it, let me just do that. I'll keep it to 10. So how does this get calculated? Let me just show it to you. So say for example, you have these, I think I have 10 over here, 10 images, 10 layers. So lime, mint, orange, orchid, mint, and all of these things. So so now you at least know that if the number is greater, then that means that it's less rare, and if the number is lower, then it means it's more rare. But how is it actually calculated? The calculation is actually done by adding all of these numbers, and then this number is divided by the total. So 10 divided by 10 plus 10 plus 10, that's 30, 40, 50, and then 60, 70, and 80. So it's a total of 80. The numbers add up to 80. So lime would be 1 by 80. Sorry, 10 by 80, which is 1 by 8. So the probability that lime would be there in one of the pictures is 1 by 8. So if the number was greater, if the number was say 1000, then the probability that lime would be there would be 1000 divided by 1070 or something. So that's how it's calculated. And yeah, the higher the number, the less rare the layer is. Now, of course, in the next few videos, we will also be covering how to deploy these things, how to deploy it on IPFS, how to actually sell these NFTs on OpenSea and so on and so forth. And we'll be doing a lot of stuff. By the way, I also forgot to cover this particular section, which is how I created the layers in the first place. So for that I use this particular thing which is called photop. You can just go over to your browser and search for it, photop.com, and you can essentially create your layers, you can create your things over here. It's essentially like Photoshop, but you don't have to install any software. You can just go over to photop.com and essentially edit your photos. So I will be documenting the entire journey of the Stripes NFT. This was just the first part wherein I actually created multiple NFTs. The next part would be on how to deploy it on IPFS and so on and so forth. And then the last part would be on how to actually put it out on OpenSea and other exchanges as well. So stay tuned for those videos, and make sure that you follow me on Twitter. I'll be posting more and more about the Stripes NFT and how it's going, and also about the community and so on and so forth. So make sure that you see all the links down in the description box and go check them out as well.